Hello guys, back again with Movel on the Movelanime channel, and welcome to the Manhwa plot, Genius Archer Streamer. We will continue the increasingly exciting story, where the god of archers began to be recognized by gamers and viewers, and many invited to collaborate. How does Sang Hyen face star syndrome and start his career? For the sake of shortening time better, let's get into the story. A corn jelly, he is a fairly veteran streamer, where he is not only a master in Kingdom Age, but he is an all-rounder game streamer. Seeing a corn jelly, Sang Hyen, of course, thinks that he wants to be like him, because commercially it is of course more profitable. But at this time Sang Hyen got a message from a corn jelly, where he said that he wanted to invite a collab in his stream. Seeing the message, Sang Hyen certainly felt nervous, because it was his first time. Also, in addition, a corn jelly is a fairly famous streamer. If he immediately agreed, people might think of him as someone who was on social media. Because of that, Sang Hyen felt that this time it was a difficult thing, because he did not have anyone who could be asked to consult on this matter. But at that time, Sang Hyen got a phone call from his close friend, Joo-hyuk, where when he picked up, Joo-hyuk said that he had seen his livestream, and with that he also asked how people would react. Was it good? But Sang Hyen there replied, if it's like that. But besides saying like that, Sang Hyen also boasted that everyone always called him a genius. Since childhood, Joo-hyuk has been used to being a genius. Since childhood, Joo-hyuk has been accustomed to the crowd, which from his words, Joo-hyuk can only be annoyed by it, because how could Sang Hyen say that with innocence? But besides that, Sang Yun asked, did Joo-hyuk call just to talk about it? To which Joo-hyuk replied, that of course not, because in fact he announced happily that he had resigned from the company. Hearing Joo-hyuk's words, Sang Hyen was really surprised, where he asked frantically why he acted suddenly like that. But Joo-hyuk replied that he had just had a fight with that bastard manager. That's why he decided to leave the company. But hearing those words too, Sang Hyen began to think, where Joo-hyuk, who was a top elite, wasn't he now unemployed? And with that he thought of one thing, wouldn't he now be able to ask Joo-hyuk for help to become his manager? But considering that Joo-hyuk was a top elite, Sang Hyen rethought, because he couldn't just ask Joo-hyuk. Especially, he still couldn't pay him for sure. But at that time, Joo-hyuk immediately said that starting from today he would become Sang Hyen's manager. And he was looking forward to his cooperation, to which Hyen was silent because he couldn't understand his friend's thoughts. Seeing that Yun didn't answer his words, Joo-hyuk asked if maybe Hyen didn't like him, but Yun answered frantically, if he didn't mean to silence him. She especially liked him, but she also asked, isn't Joo-hyuk's savings now only 100,000 yen left? Hearing that, Joo-hyuk also confirmed it, but he didn't care, where he became very excited about the conversation about the game capsule. He even brought up Yun crying the first time he tried it, and from his words Sang Hyen of course became very embarrassed, where he didn't want to talk about it. But there Joo-hyuk explained that he thought of something when he saw Yun like that, because he felt that Yun seemed to really like archery. Even at this moment he realized that he had never done something like that, so he wanted to find out something that he liked too, so he would wholeheartedly become Sang Hyen's manager. Hearing those words, Sang Hyen still thought about his friend, especially if Joo-hyuk did that, his career in a big company would definitely be damaged. But Joo-hyuk said that it wouldn't matter where he only took a long break for 1 year before looking for a job, and if his cooperation as a manager succeeded, it would definitely result in something big. Hearing his words, Sang Hun of course smiled happily. He then told Joo-hyuk to get ready to sit on the money cushion, because he was going to bring Joo-hyuk into his success as a manager. Especially, he also said that Kim Joo-hyuk's manager could start working tomorrow. Hearing Yun's words, Joo-hyuk asked why so suddenly, but when he listened to Sang Hyen's explanation, he became very excited. Because about the proposed collaboration, it was certainly one of his skills. That's why he told Yun that they couldn't miss such an opportunity. And as for the things that Hyun was worried about, Joo-hyuk also added to leave all the tasks to him, because right now, all they needed to do was to show them the negotiation skills. The next day at a cafe, someone was seen watching Hyun's Reebee account, where he was Naeun, a corn jelly's manager. He slightly complained to a corn jelly about whether it would be okay meeting him in a place as dirty as this, where Akareli, whose real name is Dejemok, replied that it seemed like it would be okay, especially he invited Almond because he has potential. But Naeun then said that the last time a corn jelly collab, he almost fainted. That's why he was a little concerned about it. Hearing the words of Neon, Akron Jelly was a little annoyed with him, because why also have to discuss it? Where is the reason he chose Almond? That's because Almond is a promising beginner, and it is certainly an investment in the future. But Naeun of course still doesn't trust Akron Jelly. Especially the world of live streams is a world where people only see the player's skills. And with that too, he asked if he had ever seen him in person in the real world, but a corn jelly replied that he had never met him, where from that answer too, Naeun was very surprised, because how could Akron Jelly decide on a collaboration without discussing with him? Because if Akron Jelly misjudged, he would definitely complain after the failure of the collab stream. But at that time, Akron Jelly decided to collaborate without discussing with him, because if Akron Jelly misjudged, he would definitely complain after the failure of the collab stream. But at that time, Akron Jelly was suddenly approached by someone, and when he greeted the person who called him back, he was very surprised, because what came was the invited guest, which was Almond himself, Aka Yo Shanghayan. Seeing the presence of Shanghayan, Naeun blushed, because it turned out that Almond was very handsome, while a corn jelly, he immediately stood up from his seat and shook hands with the Hyun. But besides that, a corn jelly asked who was the person with him, where in fact it was Kim Joo-hyuk, and he introduced himself as Shanghayan's manager, and with that he also immediately gave his business card to both of them. Seeing the business card given by Joo-hyuk, they were both really amazed, where they knew that Joo-hyuk was a great manager. But Joo-hyuk said that it was nothing, while Shanghayan was with him. Yes, of course, a little astonished, because when did Joo-hyuk prepare that? But besides that, Joo-hyuk also asked, who would the person next to a corn jelly be? Where Neon, who was still mesmerized by the business card, he also introduced himself if he was an ordinary manager, unlike Joo-hyuk, who is a great manager. For this reason, he immediately bowed his head and said that he looked forward to working with him. With that introduction, a corn jelly immediately invited the two of them to sit down and start the meeting, where they started discussing about the streaming collaboration. While time passed, they had explained the whole streaming, where what needed to be discussed now was about the money sharing. But immediately the Hyun raised his hand and said that he was new in the streaming field, and it felt like he really needed help from Akron Jelly. He even agreed not to get paid at all. But from Hyun's words, a core jelly replied not to be like that. Especially now, life definitely needs income, and Naeun also added that if his side took all the profits, they would definitely be blasphemed by the public. But from that, Hyun explained that everything was fine. But his words were immediately cut off by Joo-hyuk, where if a corn jelly objected to it, then it didn't matter if they gave minimum wage, especially Shanghayan's side was still a beginner and inexperienced, and because the chat was quite troublesome, a corn jelly also gave his opinion. What about dividing the two of the donations obtained? Because it would definitely be mutually beneficial to both parties. And Joo-hyuk was of course a little surprised at the decision, and he felt that it was a good advantage, where he also left the decision to the Hyun, and the Hyun himself felt if it was a good deal. A few moments passed after the negotiation ended. Joo-hyuk told Shanghayan that half of the donation amount in the stream was a good thing, where he had analyzed in advance about Akron Jelly's income. Even the minimum amount of Akron Jelly's stream in the last month broke through 200,000 won. so at least Sang Hyun could get 100,000 won with one collab. But besides that, Joo Hyuk also said about the profit sharing. If Sang Hyun could make more than 300 won in a month, he would only take 20% of that amount. And of course, on top of that, Juk also said that he had a plan for everything, in which he asked Sang Yun to entrust the matter, because right now he would develop Sang Hyun's streaming in order to make better profits. Some time passed and Sang Hyun returned home, and he started streaming. When he streamed it, it was filled with many questions. Even one of them asked, would Sang Hyun collaborate with a corn jelly? Seeing that comment, Sang Hyun was quite surprised, because it turned out that the rumors had spread, but he questioned where the rumors leaked from. But of course, Sang Hyun told his viewers if he could not possibly collaborate with a famous streamer, because he was like a small fish in a vast ocean, especially when talking with a corn jelly. They asked Sang Hyun to keep the collab a secret. But without thinking about it, Sang Hyun immediately logged into Kingdom Age, where he said that this time he would try to one-shoot kill boss. Hearing Hyun's words, his viewers said that the boss would not die because of the usual headshot. But Hyun was surprised at that, because wasn't the previous bandit leader a boss class enemy? But his viewers explained, if the bandit was not a boss, but only an elite mob, aka a named enemy, because if the boss was much stronger than him. Hearing that explanation, Sang Hyun also felt, if this was a problem, because he shouldn't have said he would beat the boss with one-shoot kill. But at that time, Ruby SW donated 10,000 yuans, where he also gave Sang Hyun a mission. If he managed to beat the boss with one-shoot kill, he would get 100,000 won. Seeing the notification, Sang Hyun was still hesitant to accept it, because his own viewers previously said that the boss figure would not die with one-shoot kill. But even though it was an impossible thing, it was a good plot, where a large mission prize would definitely lower the bar for further donors. And with that, Sang Hyun also accepted the mission, where he thanked Ruby's sword, and also the 100,000 won he would give. And with Hyun's reaction, several other people also made additional donations, where they were very happy with Hyun's confidence, and waited for his actions. Even Yun himself, yes of course, was equally happy, because if there was a mission in the donation chat stream, it would definitely help maintain revenue. In fact, not only that, Sang Hyun, who had not finished logging into the game, he had received a donation stream, where he thanked his viewers, because now he would try to face the boss with his one-shoot kill. In that short time, Sang Hyun was transported to the Aegis Kingdom, where he was summoned by someone, because in fact there was a beautiful girl who thanked him for saving the city from the bandit attack. Even because of the girl's appearance, the comment section was immediately filled with the girl's name, where the viewers were very happy with the presence of Amelia. Seeing Amelia's presence, Hyun realized that she was a heroine in the Age Kingdom, where he wondered how humans could change the game flow. But at that time, he got to choices from the game system. And with the appearance of the choice, the viewers told Sang Hyun to choose number 2, but immediately Sang Hyun chose number 1. Where he told Amelia that it was all okay because it was a mercenary job to fulfill his mission. But Amelia, who was very happy, she said that it was all the same. Especially she thanked Sang Hyun for doing so. Even from those words, the viewers replied, if they played Kingdom Ages because of Amelia. But from the viewers who liked Amelia, one of them said that Rosanita was the best in Kingdom Ages. Seeing that comment, Sang Hyun asked if maybe Rosanita was the second heroine, but at that time Roman came and met Amelia, where he asked for the attack this time. Wouldn't it be better to use a special attack team? And Amelia, he also agreed to Roman's suggestion, where he was very grateful if Roman could do it, because now they will prepare to ambush their enemies. At night, Sang Hyun and the mercenary group were seen trying to approach the enemy base, where in fact they were preparing to attack the headquarters of the bandits, and with that, Roman gave instructions if his group would try to get as close as possible and ambush in an instant. Seeing the seriousness of Roman, the Hyen felt that the battle this time was more tense than he had expected, because the sensation in the full dive turned out to be almost indistinguishable from reality. And of course the Hyen could not consider it a game, at which time Roman immediately raised his sword and he gave the order to start the attack. Immediately, the group of mercenaries attacked the bandits' camp, and the bandits who were there were surprised by the attack. But even though their reflexes were very fast, one of them was immediately hit by a headshot in the head. And realizing that, the other bandits of course immediately alerted them to the presence of an archer. But even so, shot after shot rained down on the bandits. Where Sang Hyen as soon as possible released his arrows. Sang Hyen who used his arrows, he was very focused on his targets. But at that time he also got a notification, where he got a consecutive shooting skill, because he managed to shoot arrows at the head in succession. And because he was curious about the skill, Sang Hyen immediately activated it because he wanted to see the difference between using the skill and not. Which when the skill was activated, Sang Hyen could shoot his arrows faster than usual, where with that speed his accuracy remained sharp. Even one by one the bandits quickly just fell. Seeing this incident, the viewers were very surprised, because what they knew about the consecutive shooting skill was a trash skill. But in the hands of the Hyen it became a skill that was very overpowered, where he managed to fire his shots with almost invisible speed. Even quickly, the remaining bandits were now completely destroyed. Even because of that attack his chat column was again filled with many comments. But it was Sang Hyen who got the comments. He said that the bow he had was more powerful than he thought. But of course Sang Hyen wanted to say anything. His viewers realized that almonds were really deceitful, because his bow was only good if used by him. From the many comments like that, Sang Hyen was of course very happy. Not only was he noticed by many people, but he also got his pleasure. Not only about money, the realistic sensation of full dive, and also the reactions of those people, made him very addicted. But while Sang Hyen was happy, he was suddenly approached by someone, where Roman praised him, because he was so great, that it wouldn't be long before Sang Hyen would be the best in the empire. While Sang Hyen was talking to Roman, suddenly someone from his viewers asked, "How did the battle end? Shouldn't there be a boss among the bandits?" And with that, Hyen remembered that he needed to take care of his boss too. But at that time one of the mercenaries called Roman, where he felt that he had managed to find the boss's corpse, because at this time the bandit boss was dead, pierced by an arrow. Where from that the chat column was again filled with many comments, because they still felt that doing a one-shot headshot against the boss was impossible. And the Hyen who was there, he also thought that maybe the mission of 100,000 yuans failed. But at that moment, a notification appeared among the chat column, because in fact a corn jelly had made a donation of 100,000 yuans. He even said that it must be a one-shoot kill, where perfect suit is one of the systems that can kill the boss instantly. Seeing that comment, Sang Hyen asked if maybe Rosanita was the second heroine, but at that time Roman came and met Amelia, where he asked for the attack this time. Wouldn't it be better to use a special attack team? And Amelia, he also agreed to Roman's suggestion, where he was very grateful if Roman could do it, because now they will prepare to ambush their enemies. Seeing the arrival of a corn jelly, the comments in the chat column were again crowded, because the viewers did not believe a corn jelly, especially what perfect suit does exist. But seeing the many comments about perfect suit, Sang Hyen was really confused, because he still did not understand what perfect suit was, because all this time he played with all the experience he had about archery. With the death of the bandit boss, a corn jelly made a donation to Sang Hyen of 100,000 won, where he said that perfect shoot could kill the boss, but his arrival was not welcomed by the viewers, because they didn't believe in perfect shoot, especially that it might just be a term. And with that, Akron Jelly was angry at the insults from the viewers. She even hoped that Sang Hyen would explain it. But in fact, Sang Hyen there asked Akron Jelly, "Well, what is perfect shoot?" Which made Acorn Jelly himself surprised, because in fact the Hun who had been shooting with perfect shoot but did not know the term itself. But even though he was a little upset, he wondered about the ability of the Hyen, because of what he really was, and because the timing was very suitable. Acorn Jelly also sent a super chat back. Seeing that Akron Jelly promoted him directly, he was of course quite surprised, even from that the viewers' comments were busy again, because it turned out that the rumors were real. But even so, Sang Hyen tried to pretend and stay calm, where he acted carefully and made some of his viewers advise him to reject it. Because if Sang Hyen joins Acorn Jelly's group, his history is over. But some of them are looking forward to the collaboration, where they feel that it will definitely be exciting. Even from that, Ruby Sword again made a donation, where if Sang Hyen can prove perfect shoot in the collaboration stream, he will give 100,000 won back. Seeing the enthusiasm of his viewers, Hyen also thanked Ruby, and he gave a decision if he would approve the collaboration stream. And with that, Hyen also said goodbye to turn off his stream, which his viewers were waiting for a collab with Acorn Jelly. But at that time, one of them asked what Sang Hyen was doing. Especially there is someone who has donated more than 120,000 won. But there was no reaction, and because of that, Sang Hyen would of course give his own reaction, where he raised his bow and arrow to the sky and shot it. He happily thanked the donors and ended the stream with another game over. To Sang Hyen's real life, he finally got out of the game capsule, where he got a chat from his manager Aka Ju-hyuk, if tomorrow the collab stream will be held live. That's why Ju-hyuk invited Sang Hyen to make an appointment outside. Remembering this, the Hun apparently forgot, where he then reflected on himself, but he felt that he didn't need to worry about it. And he then promised to meet at the Hoj station. And because Hyen is currently resting, he is also curious about how people will react, where he saw a post from someone if the bandit boss he defeated died with just one attack. Even from the replay, the viewers argued that the attack that Hyen launched was very fast, where they used slow motion, but still it was not clearly visible. Seeing that debate, Sang Hyen himself was also the same, if he was confused about it, but one of them said that Sang Hyen would definitely clarify it on the collab stream. And seeing that, Sang Hyen also understood, if tomorrow he had to be able to prove his attack. But at that time Sang Hyen also got a phone call, where he immediately picked it up and asked, why would Ju-hyuk call back? But there Ju-hyuk said, to look at AllTube because a show about almonds had broken 40,000 views, even though it had just been uploaded an hour ago. Hearing that, Sang Hyen asked in surprise, doesn't he not have an AllTube account? But at that moment, Sang Hyen was surprised, because Ju-hyuk said that Acorn Jelly made a video clip related to streaming collaboration on his channel, where it was seen that Acorn Jelly made a video clip when Sang Hyen used his arrow. Even with the speed of his arrow, Sang Hyen killed the bandit boss. But what became a special tag in the video was Acorn Jelly added, does the perfect shot really exist? Where he invites his viewers to find out about it in the collaboration stream that will be held. And from that video clip too, Acorn Jelly's viewers are of course quite curious, where they are all looking forward to the collaboration stream. The next day in a studio, Sang Hyen was with Acorn Jelly, where Acorn Jelly reminded that they would face reveal on the stream, which was also because of that. Sang Hyen was told to get ready, while for Ju-hyuk he sat next to Naeun. Of course, they were both behind the scenes to organize the stream, and with that, the stream finally started. Where Acorn Jelly was in front of the camera, he of course immediately greeted his viewers, and at that time, the audience on his stream had exceeded 10,000 people, even making Acorn Jelly quite surprised by their crowd. But with her stream management skills, Acorn Jelly tried to stay calm, as she greeted and interacted with her viewers. Of course, it was all in order to wait for more viewers to come in, and with his streaming skills, he managed to invite more than 38,000 viewers. Also, Akonjeli said that today he had a special guest, because on that day he wanted to prove about the controversial perfect shoot, even though Akonjeli said that the viewers were very lively, where they still laughed about the system, but some others were of course waiting for the proof, and because of that, one by one, users began to see his live stream, until finally the viewers of the stream broke the 40,000 mark, where a corn jelly began to act and allowed his guest star to enter the frame, because at this time he immediately welcomed the guest star, where he was the genius archer of the century, and welcomed Alman.